welcome on board this afternoon. And we're just making our way to where we left the Majingilane this morning. For those of you who don't know it here, had a cat walking down here. But please send them through to questions@wildearthsafari.tv. Looks like it was a male leopard walking down here. Well, I want to see how the Majingilines are doing. It is starting to cool off a little bit. And we've just seen a wildebeest in the road. So I wonder. Oh, he's trotting down the road. So we left them on this stretch here. Oh, I think he knows there's something there. I don't want to push him up that way. Gotta let him decide what he's gonna do, but his head forward, ears are forward. I think he does know something is wrong up there. Now, if they have started coming down the road, we should see some sign of them, but I can't see anything there. There could be a smell, there could be something that's making him uncomfortable. And those lions were hungry this morning. So he's got to be careful. Yeah, I would turn back if I were you, mate. And he lived to see another day. Love to know what it was that he picked up on though. But he definitely isn't sure. This is about where we left them this morning, I think. Is it here? Maybe a little bit further up, actually. A little bit further up. And for those of you who weren't able to join us on this morning's drive, oh, there we go. Just up here. We're on very tele access at the moment. It looks like they were eyeing up some buffalo a little bit earlier on before we were able to catch up with them. Can you see them?
Yeah, just on the other side of this tree. All the way there by the...
Okay, so I'm not going to drive on top of them then?
No.
Okay, cool. Oh yes, I see a leg. There's one. Where's the others?
There's another two
Oh,
there.
can you see two there? Oh yeah, there's one just lying down actually in front there. Sneak around here. All three. Awesome. Is that okay there?
Come back a little bit and point from there.
Just there?
Yeah.
So hopefully, if it gets a little bit warm there, we may see them moving. Stations, the three Madonna and Gala are still Lalapans on Territorial access. The sea is getting a little bit bothered by flies, so he may just seek refuge somewhere. And the sun is shining directly on him at the moment. And it's still got a little bit of heat in it. So what would you say, about 500 metres down the road is what the wildebeest got to?
We're 500 meters away from them.
Mm.
No, less than that.
Less than that.
300 meters, less even.
About 300 metres, Herman reckons. A little bit off the road. They were close to the road this morning, but this is quite a busy road along here, so that's possibly why. As well as the shade moving. They've only moved maybe 10-15 metres from where we last left them. But it has been a while since we have seen the Majingilanes. And there's only 3 here. We don't know where the 4th one is. The last update I had, all 4 were there.
Okay, thanks.
Now, lions don't need to hunt throughout, or regularly. They don't need to hunt every day. Depends on the meal that they've had previously. And their bellies aren't looking that full, so it may have been a few days since they've eaten last. But for a lion this size, it may take in 40-50 kilos of meat in one go. And then go and digest a little bit and then refill their stomachs, depending, as I say, on what size prey they have. Impala won't last these 3 very long. They would have to hunt the next day at least. But a buffalo would suffice for 4 or 5 days actually feeding from it, and then maybe another 4 or 5 days digesting that meat. It kind of averages out about 6 or 7 kilos every day. He's really getting bothered by flies. Now, if we do have any viewers who have not met the Majingilanes before, they are a coalition of 4. There used to be 5. But when they first arrived in this area about a year ago, there was another coalition that they actually took over the territory from. And when they tried to muscle in on that territory to begin with, the 2 out of a 6 coalition who was patrolling this area ended up killing one of their numbers, bringing them down to 4. In retaliation, later on in the afternoon, they actually killed one of the Mapocos called Kinky Tail and chased off the other male, who went to rejoin the rest of the coalition who lived further off into the west. There we go, got one male up. It's starting to cool off a little bit, so we may see them starting to wake up. And it is a myth that males don't hunt. They do, and these males seem to be very efficient at hunting, as are the Mapoco males. And I did hear Mr. T, the male that got chased off by these boys, was able to bring down a giraffe by himself. A young giraffe. It was a juvenile, but he was able to do it by himself. They will also lend their weight to females when they're hunting, especially buffalo. Oh. See, all 3 of them on the backs helps to expel any excess heat. You see lions doing this especially when they have eaten and they've got extended bellies. See those huge paws there. And the pad. Probably about the same size as my hand. Now, the soft pad also helps to mask any sound that they make through the bush too. And coupled with them being extremely delicate in where they do place their feet, it helps to reduce any noise that they make. This other one at the back does have a little bit of a belly on him, but suddenly the other two that I saw didn't look that full at all. And maybe they did catch something very small and he got the lion's share. And there will be a hierarchy between the three of them. Hello, beautiful. Now that's the male with those piercing eyes. They're just very light in colour. Very noticeable. The difference between him and the other lions. Good afternoon to you, Stenio. Great to hear from you. Been a little while. Wanting to know, does it not harm them if they do sleep straight after having a full belly? And that's the way the digestive system works. And rolling onto the back, let's say, helps to expel all that heat that's generated by the digestion, and just sleeping it off. That is the way of the cats. Now this male might move. He's yawned 3 times now. So he might just get up, or he might roll over and get up in a bit. And the whole reason for yawning is to increase the amount of oxygen getting to the muscles. So it's getting them ready for action. But I looked up just to see where he was going. You feeling alright back there?
Yeah.
I'm just going to try and move back a little bit because he's just sitting on the edge of the tree there. You might just be able to see him nicely. He's watching you with interest there. Alright boys. No.
Oh, no, I can't say.
It's really starting to become quite a pleasant temperature. But that is one difference between cats and other animals, is that they do work on this process of being completely empty and then completely full. It's the way the digestive system works. And I do wonder if maybe sleeping would. But when you sleep, your metabolism tends to drop. And so too does your body temperature to a certain degree. So with all the heat that's produced by the digestion, possibly helps to even it out a little bit. Since these boys aren't moving too far at the moment, maybe we should leave them to it for a little while. Have a look down the road. A little bit further towards the sandy patch area. And come back, but I don't want to go too far because I'm pretty sure they're going to move at some stage. And with the temperature really starting to drop quite nicely now, it'd be nice to actually see them waking up properly. Maybe I'm sitting there. I'm going to try and find a different way out of here. Hi Christine, good afternoon to you. Saying these lines have a lot of characteristics like the Apocos, could they be related? And I'm not too sure, I don't think so. It looks like these males possibly came in from the Kruger. Stick there. There's the Mapocos are actually from originally the Sparta pride, as I understand it, which is a pride off in the west. And Kruger lies to our east. But unfortunately not much is really known about the background of these lions. Okay boys, we won't be too long. Don't go anywhere. Station's leaving the log briefly of the 3 Ngala. There's still a lot of pounds in the same place. And for me, they definitely have changed over the last year. To say they do seem more sure of themselves. Kamikaze squirrel there. And unfortunately, I think a lot of it is to do with the fact that they did kill one of the reigning males in this area. And it's not the first time it's happened. When you get big coalitions, 6 or 7 or 8, they start to dominate an area, no other males really get a look in. And if they have a large area, and a few prides within that area, you do see the coalition actually breaking off into 2s or 3s. And there was some research done a little while ago on a coalition of about 6 or 7, I think it was. And they reigned for many, many years. And it was only once they started breaking off into 2s and 3s were the other lions in the area able to pick them off one by one and eventually broke the coalition up. And then the territory was all split up between the different coalitions. But it is a normal part of lion life, and it is actually to stop inbreeding. And if the lions have a large coalition, then obviously they're going to be able to hold on to that territory much longer. So they may be able to sire more cubs within that period. I did hear there was possibly a female seen around here. There's a lot of impala here. So she's either further that way. Wow, look at that. Those pink rays just on the Drakensberg Mountains. Absolutely stunning. I'll just go a little bit further on and just see if there's any tracks. There's nothing this side of her. That's quite eerie, that pink glow. see a vehicle there. Which station with the Ngala on Boyatella access just past Sunny Patch North? They're picking me up back. You see a lioness lying right in the road. Station with the Ngala Boyatella access just west of Sunny Patch North. And I do wonder if this is the Unkakumas. Ah, apparently it's the Styx, being told. Good afternoon. Hello, once again. Sorry? Oh, there's another one. Oh, nice. With the other vehicle being very close, I'm just having to speak very quietly. But it turns out there is another female just to the left. But she is in the bush at the moment, so you can't see her. So if this is the 3 females from the Styx Pride, I wonder where the cubs are. Hello again. Hi. How you doing? A little while. I think I'm going to try and move between the males and the females. So. Yeah. So I've just left and they haven't moved anywhere. So. Yeah. I'll probably come down in about 10 minutes or so. Now, quite interestingly, the Styx Pride were numbering 7 when I first arrived, but sadly the Majingilanes actually took possibly 2 out of their number. We did actually see them. I think it was Patrick that found one of the Majingilanes with the carcass, or the remains. There wasn't much left of the female from the Styx. So no one actually saw them kill her, but with them being at the remains and even feeding, we actually do believe that they were responsible for her death. Quite why it is unclear, unless they were trying to mate her and she got caught with them and she was refusing. No one's really too sure exactly what happened there. But they could also be responsible for the death of another female. They were also seen in the same area. But nowadays they are mating with them, and I think the 2 cubs have been sired by them, by one of the females. And I'm thinking it's possibly the female that's still hidden in the bush. Now, if this is true, apparently the female with the cubs hasn't been seen for a little while, so if it is true that the other female is in the bush, and that means all 3 Styx females are together. The young male being pushed out now by the Majingilanes, apparently. We are putting a lot of pressure on him, and he'll also be being moved on by the females as well. They tend to become quite aggressive to males when they're about 2.5, 3 years old. Well, I do wonder sometimes if it's a little bit difficult on the siblings, if there's females and males. They spend quite a lot of time together. So I remember seeing a pride on my old reserve where there was a young male and 2 females, and I think the bond between one of the females and the male was particularly strong, and she would actually spend, there is another female, I can see her, she just moved. So I might actually park where Lex parked, we might be able to see her a little bit. But it got to the stage where he was being pushed out by the 2 males, and even the females were starting to turn aggressive towards him. But his sister would actually go off and help him hunt. And every time she returned back to the pride, it took her a little while to be integrated into the pride again, because obviously she smelled of him as well. So they weren't aggressive towards her, but they weren't particularly welcoming either. It was quite interesting. I'm just going to try and move. Just by that bush, actually, you can just about see her, a little sliver of her body. So she moves out, and we should be able to see her nicely. It's either her or the male. But now I'm having a better view. That's actually a young male behind this female, so it's actually a female and a young male. I thought he had a few wisps of hair, more than a female should. I think last time we saw the Styx male, he had a lot more of a mane growth than what this male does. So now I am confused. If there's any viewers out there who does have a recent picture maybe of, well, the most recent picture of the Styx male, but I'm pretty sure he had much more mane on him than this little guy. But as you can see, this is exactly what lions do best, especially during the heat of the day. And it looks like they did have possibly a small meal recently. And there's the other female. And what are you seeing, lady? She's actually got part of her ear, the top right of her ear, missing. And looks like a deep notch in her left ear, right at the bottom of the ear. Okay, well, she's yawning again, so she could come up and join the other two. Look. Look. Good afternoon to you, Linda. I'm wondering, are they far enough away from the Majingilines not to be a problem, or with all the mating, are they going to be okay now? And I think they will be fine. The mating, they have been spending a lot of time with them down on Mala Mala apparently. So I think there has been a bond made between the females and the Majingilines, and especially with cubs being side by the Majingilines. There we go. I think this is the old grandma. It looks like she has been in the wars a little bit. Come on, mister, turn around. But I think in the next couple of years, when the coalitions of young males in the north and in the east that we know about, possibly in the south as well, once they start to grow up, they may want to move further into the Majingilans territory. And with only 3 Mapocos remaining, I don't think they're going to try and reclaim this territory. Although Mr. T apparently was seen just in the west towards Zimbambili, which lies just to the west of us. So I think he keeps coming up to maybe the boundary every so often. Okay. Keep it. Did you see the males? Are they still lallering? It's probably about 200 meters to where the impala are. Hi, wee Pat. Good afternoon to you. And why do the lions lie in the road? Are they not scared of the cars? Well, here animals definitely do have the right of way, and they do learn that over time, and they are used to the vehicles. Most of them have grown up with them, so they know that then there's nothing to worry about, nothing to fear. And with it being sandy roads, it's quite comfortable, and you'll often find animals sleeping out on the road when it's a little bit chilly, or even towards the evening, especially as we go into winter, because the road will hold quite a little bit of heat. It'll keep them warm just that little bit longer. But as the sun is setting and it's getting cooler, I think it's just much more comfortable for them out on the sand. As I say, this is usually around the time that lions will start to make a move if they are starting to get a bit hungry as the temperature's cool. So it is worth staying with them, especially since we haven't seen lion for a little while. And even though they're flat and they're not really doing too much at the moment, it could be they decide to get up in the next 5 minutes. It could be they just decide to stay lying down for the next 2 hours. It's very difficult to really know for sure. But this is the best time of day to have a shot at actually seeing lions moving around. And I'm really wanting to try and get a good look at the male. It could be that maybe he's just not been eating well and it's stunted the mane growth. He does have quite a deep notch in his right ear on the outside of his ear, which I really would like to have a look at. I think it probably is a Styx male. And if you look carefully, you can actually see on the legs, on the female, those spots. And when they are cubs, they'll have these spots all over the body. Just a little bit darker. And just a little bit darker than their body. And they do fade with time. But especially the ones on the legs, they don't tend to fade until they're extremely old. So if you see a lion with no spots on them at all, you do know it's a very old lion. But the majority of the spots will fade after about a year, year and a half. Here a bearded woodpecker pecking away on the wood. Well, maybe it's going to be a little while longer before they do decide to wake up, so maybe we should make our way back to the males and see how they're doing. Because for now I don't think we're really going to be able to get around to the front and have a look at the male from the front without really disturbing them. The bush is pretty thick on each side at the moment. It's nice and open on the other side of them, but this side it's not going to be too feasible, unfortunately. But it's amazing, after an absence of seeing or not seeing the lions, we all of a sudden find the Styx and the Majingilane. Now he decides to wake up. Sorry, were you completely out of it? Sorry, mister, he's probably going to sit back down now. There you go. Maybe I just disturbed him. Maybe he was sleeping very heavily. He's actually just rolled up again. Playing a game with us. I do want to try and have a look at his face. Hi, wee pet. Wanting to know, do they look just thin on camera, or are they actually thin? And it certainly looks like the female has had some food, but I think the male may have missed out a little bit. He does look a little bit thinner, but I think it's also the way he was sitting made him look a little bit thinner than what he really is. Okay, we're just playing a game. So I'm going to make our way to the Majingilane now. Sorry, I think that just cut out a little bit there.
Very saying she could use Styx male more lane. The head close to Majingilane,
Thanks. Hi, Patty. Just having to relay the message there, cut out a little bit. But you're also saying you thought he also had a a lot more of a mane than this one. As I say, I'm very confused. It does look like it's the two females from the Styx Pride, but with them having their heads down so much. But so apparently that's what I think Lex said, that they were the two Styx. They were the Styx. And he does see the lines a lot more often than what we do. But he does look different, mane-wise. And so that's why I wanted to see his right ear, because he's got a very deep notch in the top, in the corner of his right ear, side of his right ear, and a smaller notch on the left-hand side. And a spot just at the end of his whisker line, quite a big spot. So there's a couple of distinguishing features, which is why I wanted to have a look at his whisker line, his face. As I said, they are putting pressure on him, but a little while ago what was quite interesting is that they allowed him to feed off a carcass with them. So I think they're putting pressure on, and I think they are chasing him, but it could be that he's actually choosing to be with the females at the moment. But as I say, the females will get to the stage where they'll also turn on him and start pushing him away. But maybe that bond between the female and the male, I think they are brother and sister. They look to be around the same age when I first saw them, and it could be that that bond is still very strong between them, and that's possibly why they aren't pushing him away as much as maybe what they would if they're in a bigger pride and maybe not related as closely sibling-wise. But I mean, there is quite a bit of distance between the two. So probably a good, what would you reckon, about a K already? It's about a K? Yeah. So we're about a K already. So they're probably about a K and a half away. Even just a little bit more, maybe 2Ks. So at the moment they wouldn't really pose a threat to him. Oh, there we go. Coming out onto the road now. Oh, bless you. Yeah, well, it does look like he has had something very small. So his belly's not fat, but it's not thin. Maybe they did have an impala or something earlier. Let me just see, I thought the other two were going to come out and join him. Let me just pull forward just slightly and see where they are. A little bit too small to see over the vegetation. Can you see them through there? Oh, where we were. How far in here? How about if we stay here? We can still see him, and if the other ones get up and join him, then we should still be able to see them nicely. So if he's come out onto the road, the other two might just join him. Oh, there's a hyena in the road. Hyena. There's two. Alex, if you can copy me, there's two in BC just on the road here as well. Oh, and he's just spotted them. They come. Oh, we have a bit of a standoff now with the hyena and the lions, and his brother is actually coming to join him. Let's see. Going to see what it was that woke him up, I think. See, he's not looking. Oh. Hyena. The other male is also chasing after them. Okay, I think we need to move because the other male is running after them. Can we go? Let's do a The other one went off here. There he is, he's coming out now. The hyena's scarpered pretty quickly. I think that was probably more out of play than anything. There was a wonderful documentary entitled Eternal Enemies, and I think that really is very true when it comes to lion and hyena. I was trying to call you those two hyena and they were chasing after them.
Where did the hyena go?
He chased one off this way and the other one went that way.
Did the other lions just stay there?
Sorry?
Did the other lions just stay?
The male that walked past you, I think...
No, I mean the Styx pride.
Oh, the Styx, yeah, they were still sleeping.
Hey, man.
You're not sharing?
Canvas bag at your feet.
I think that was the hyena.
She's from England, she won't eat bottle.
Oh no, she does. Definitely.
She's from England, she can't catch.
Yeah. There was a wildebeest just here as well. I think I just heard him.
What's that?
There was a wildebeest just here.
No, we're live at the moment.
Okay, I think they've actually just seen the wildebeest. If you remember, we had him standing exactly where we are now. And I think that was him actually just snorting. Okay, let's see if we can... Ah, pill-spotted owl. Thank you. I've just been giving a snack, and for those of you who are not South African, this is, I think, one of the favourite foods. This is dried meat. Oh, this is dried sausage, either. So, this is dry wors that Lexi's guest kindly gave us. And we do also have dried meat, which is biltong, and it is very, very tasty. I think our wildebeest did hightail it out of here. lucky for him. And obviously his instincts were correct. Here comes the other nail again. I just saw something else running off down the road. I'm hoping we're going to get another chance to actually get in front of them, see their faces, but on this little stretch of road there's not really any chance to really try and overtake through the bush. So for the time being, I'm just going to follow them. We're just approaching the open area. I'm wondering if these lions are going to try and hunt. They could be making their way down to the dam as well to go and drink. I'm from the UK, Lancaster, originally. No, I haven't seen these since, I think, last year sometime. No. We always miss them. It is very... Whereabouts are you all from? You're from
Victoria mostly.
Victoria. Oh, nice. Oh no, I've still got. Thank you.
How long have you been here?
5 years out here. Yeah, but just about a year here in the Sabi Sands.
Are you going back? You're staying?
I don't know at the moment. I just love it out here.
It depends on the boyfriend.
Oh no, I don't do that. It's the animals I'm here for. Do you mind if we continue on? I think we're struggling to see them now at this distance. So, enjoy your drive anyway. Okay, I'm going to try and see if we can get a little bit closer. At the moment, I'm going to try and put the spotlight on them while they're messing around here, I think. But as soon as they get to the open area, think we'll have to leave them in darkness. So what I'm going to try and do is see if I can balance the spot so we can see him. He's drinking at the moment. His brothers are continuing on. Reason being, it's very low down here, so if there are any animals out on the plain, they won't be able to see him, so we won't be swaying any hunting possibilities. But if the baboons are still around, which I think they were around the camp when we first started the drive, then they're going to spot them pretty easily, I think. It looks like they are still interested, even though impala alarm calling. One brother has continued off to the right, the other one continuing on ahead. Well, unfortunately we've had to switch off all the lights just in case there's the possibility of them trying to hunt, but from what I can see, they've made that one's continuing down towards the lodge and the other one's just made his way out onto the open area, and at the moment all the impala are still alarm calling. So I don't think they're going to be successful. Yeah, the other brother's coming back to the road. Well, unfortunately I think there is another vehicle wanting to join, so I think we're going to give them space and allow the other vehicles to continue on after them. I think unfortunately we're going to have to say goodbye, but thank you very much for joining us here this evening. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the lions. We very rarely get a chance to see the Majingilane, as I was saying earlier, and to be able to see the Styx pride as well, two of the females. The male, I'm still not 100% sure, it could be the male and he's just lost a lot of hair, but unfortunately I'll have to do some more digging around and finding out exactly who that was with them. But also quite interesting to know what happens to the other Majingilane as well. But now that I have, there we go, you can hopefully see me now. Instead of being a voice in the dark, I forget how dark it is. But it looks like they are heading down towards Gowrie Dam, so maybe listen out for any lions calling around the dam this evening. It is one of the most beautiful sounds you'll ever hear, the African bush. And after chasing off some hyenas, we do know they're in the area, so certainly keep a listen out for them as well. But thank you very much for joining us, as I say. Thank you for all the questions. And do try and join us if you can tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock Central Africa time, where Mark will be heading out. And maybe he'll be lucky to see the Majingilane again, and maybe even the Styx Pride. And who knows, maybe Karula and the Cubs will make an appearance. So lots to look forward to tomorrow. But take care everyone wherever you are, and thanks for joining us here on Wild Earth. Bye for now.